Hey friends, so today we are out here. I've got an abundance of seeds out here. We are going to be starting some seeds as seeds start with soil blocking and in pots. We're just going to be doing it outside and then we'll move them inside underneath our grow lights and on our heat mat, as well as some root crops we're going to direct sow. And I got my basket as well, one just to carry all my containers out here, which we have got quite a bit, and oh my goodness, flowers. So I've got a Sharpie and some tape too to label everything. But before we go with the seeds, because I'm still trying to mentally think and plan, I've just spent probably 2 hours reorganizing all my seeds, going through all my seeds. I've narrowed it down to those containers, but that's still too much for the space we have. So while I keep thinking about it, let's go harvest the last of our cucumbers. I don't know if we're going to pull the plant up or we're going to let it go. But regardless, we're going to get all the cucumbers that's currently on there, as well as some red chilies. So we'll go harvest, I'll keep thinking, and then we'll do the seeds.
Alright, so here is our cucumber plant. This is a Lebanese cucumber plant, and as you can see, the leaves aren't looking the best. I had tried to train this plant across this trellis for the whole lifespan of this plant, and it just would not climb properly. Here along I have planted some snow pea seeds since now we're in autumn, and it's just time for this cucumber to be gone. It's not looking the best. The cucumbers are still producing amazingly, but also the flowers have dropped. I noticed a significant less amount of flowers than what there was, say, 2 weeks before this date. So I went along and harvested all of the cucumbers, and at this point I was still unsure whether we were going to pull up this plant or not, but I just thought the weather's getting cooler, this is a summer crop, it's time to pull this plant up. Now this plant was very fun and special to me. I successfully grew this from seed using my indoor light setup in spring, which was my first time using it, and if you saw that video, that was a flop. I done so many things wrong and I stunted the growth of this plant significantly. The fact it even done anything, there was a period in summer heat probably, I just gave up on it. I didn't even water it. It didn't rain, or it had very little rain. It had no water, and yet it still survived, and it kind of made it boom. Very confusing. I don't think this plant should have survived, but it did. So it was sad to see it go. I had 3 cucumber starts. They were the baby or the BB cucumbers. They worked okay. They not the biggest success. And then I had 3 of these seedlings from that I done from seed, and 2 died instantly, and this one it was stunted. It wasn't dying, but it wasn't growing, so I gave up on it and I decided to just ignore it, and then it started to grow, so I gave it some more love and nurture and water and all the things, and this is how it ended up today. So I am now pulling it all up, and I'm just putting it in the compost. I generally do like the chop and drop method when it comes to gardening, and putting a lot of the organic matter back directly onto the soil and chopping it smaller pieces so it can decompose more quicker, except this was just way too much plant matter for this small space. I could have went to other beds, but I knew we had the soil blocking project to do and to get done, so I thought, you know what, the bulk of this can go into the compost bin. The compost can benefit from some more like plant matter like this, besides from just vegetable scraps all the time. And there's a little bit here I am leaving behind to fill into the space. So this is all of the cucumbers. I thought we would have had a few more, to be honest, but I'm still super happy with them. And now onto this chili plant. So this chili plant I brought by a start. I also done chili seeds from scratch. Well, not from scratch, but like my own seeds. I tried to germinate and it didn't work. I done a lot of things wrong with my indoor grow lights, which now this coming season I've changed, I've learned, I've learned what I've done wrong, and I'm excited to see how things grow. So I'm just harvesting these chilies. I like to harvest them when they're all completely red or mostly red. Chilies are similar to tomatoes, in my experience, at least with these chilies and the jalapeno chilies, which I was growing this season. The jalapeno chilies, they did die from the cold very quickly, but these ones are booming, and even now, doing this voiceover, we're in winter and it is booming still. But as soon as they blush, they will continue ripening inside. So even if there's still a bit of green on them, that's fine. I will pick the chilies and I'll get them harvested.
We have got so many chilies. So a lot of these are still a little bit dark or do have some green on. That's fine. They're blushed. They will keep ripening inside. I'm going to preserve these into the freezer until we can get to canning project. I probably won't do that today though. I do have a pile that needs to get done, so I'll just add this to that, and within the next couple of days I'm going to have to get it done because of the pile I already got, which I harvested a few days ago. But that is so many chilies and cucumbers. Definitely my biggest cucumber harvest, and I would probably say this is equal to chili harvest, but it's crazy considering it's just one plant. That plant is massive. So these are just cayenne chilies, and specifically a long cayenne variety, which, to be honest, these aren't that long compared to other ones that I've harvested, but still absolutely fantastic and an amazing amount of chili. So I'm so excited for when we get to do our chili canning projects together. Alright, so hopefully I can avoid the wind by standing in the corner here, but I'm just going to quickly talk through the process of what I am thinking with these seeds. We're going to do it. It will be a voiceover at the time of me planting because of the wind. And then we can go inside and I can let you know exactly what I've done. But what I'm thinking before getting into it, onions. Every single onion packet that is open, all those seeds are going to get planted. For sure. Onions, I want to do a big strip in our in-ground space. So I do need a lot of... So I'm going to need a lot of in-ground space. So I'm going to be using a big amount of in-ground space for onions because my plan is to get enough onions grown and harvested for a year. That was my plan last year, and as you saw, our onion harvest was pitiful. But we're starting this a little bit early. I started that mid to end of winter, I believe. We are now near the end of autumn. Well, we're heading into our last month of autumn. So hopefully I have better luck, and I'm just going to be planting more seeds, so then there's more chances of a success, right? And feeding and all that things. I've learnt mistakes from last season with the grow lights. This is my second season using the grow lights inside. The first season was springtime last year. So this is my second season, and obviously for cooler weather. Now, we will go and have a look at the lettuces. I don't need to plant any lettuces. We got germination. It's not as many as I planted, but it is fine. It is plenty. I did oversow. But what we got growing is plenty for us. Don't need to start any lettuce. And yeah, so onions, a couple of herbs, a lot of coriander actually. Coriander is a big thing I want a bumper crop of, because not only do we love eating fresh coriander, but I want to save the seed. Hopefully I can save enough seed to make it as a spice, to toast up and grind my own coriander spice. That's just such a goal for me to do. So lots of coriander and flowers. Now when it comes to flowers, I do want to have like a mini urban flower farm. I am just diving right into that. So we got a lot of flowers. In my mind I got too many. That's a fact. I got too much for both my space inside to grow with the grow lights and the heat mats, as well as the space outside. I'm so sorry as well with the dogs, and my neighbour's dogs, but we don't have enough space for the flowers that I want to do. So it's either I'll do one or two of each variety, so I can get every variety and every type of flower in the different varieties, like the colours of that flower. I need to switch arms. Or narrow it down and don't grow as many varieties, but then I can have like 5 or 6 plants of the same thing. So then I'll have the bumper crop of each type of flower, hopefully if things go well. But then it's just not as much choice. That I still don't know. So flowers will be last. We know with the onions we need a lot. I know with the herbs. And once I start doing it, then hopefully we can figure something out with the flowers, because I don't know with the flowers. But yeah, let's just start and see how it goes.
So now onto the soil blocking. I was so excited for this. I feel like I've watched so many different YouTube videos for soil blocking, and this soil blocker is a flimsy, cheapest, nastiest thing I could find on eBay. I think I paid like $17 or $19 for and free shipping. So it really is a cheap blocker. A lot, or pretty much every single other one I've seen someone on YouTube use is like the metal one or the steel one, which I can buy, but they're about $60 to $80. So I didn't know if I'm just gonna like this method. Soil blocking is, I feel like it's one of these things people either love it or they hate it. My intention with soil blocking is I want to have the soil block, and instead of up potting, it does depend on the plant, but for the most part I would like to take that block and then pop it straight into the ground rather than up potting. So that's my intention. Whether it would actually pay out that way or not, we're not too sure. Nothing can really say whether it will or not until I just get in and do it and experiment and learn. And that method might work for somebody but not the other, because a lot more factors play in compared to like weather, location, soil that I already have in my garden, and all the different factors. So I'm just going to try it. Here I have a bag of compost. It's just pure compost, and I added water. I was mixing it and mixing it and mixing it, and I just felt like it was just absorbing so much water until it just flooded. It got so much water. So I was squeezing it and I felt the consistency was right. So once I squeezed it and that water dripped out, I felt like that possibly was a good consistency, although it was also easy to break. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm looking for, although I have watched countless of videos. Now doing it, I just feel like everything I watched and learned just by watching videos and researching on different forums and blog pages, it's just like everything's just gone out of my brain, my memory, and it was a mental block. These trays as well are also flimsy, thin ones that I got from eBay. I was just focusing my money on soil and garden beds instead of nice proper equipment.
Alright, so I thought we'd come inside and we can chat about what seeds we are doing while we wait for that soil to absorb some of that liquid, some of that water. So starting with onions. Another thing, I want to start with onions because that's my number one priority when it comes to vegetables, and we're going to be using these pots. So I've just recycled these pots from when I've purchased starts. I thought it was a spider. They're a bit dusty. They've been sitting outside. Oh, I didn't think about spiders. I hope there's not a spider amongst these pots. So they're like, I don't know measurements. They're just a standard small pot. So they sit in the palm of my hand, but this part's a bit more bigger. I don't know. They're just a regular small seedling starting pot. So we will take these labels off. I don't need them. 1, 2, 3. All right, so I've got 5 here. I do have more outside if needed, but let's just see my little onion container, my seed container of what we have. So first thing, shallot. Definitely would love shallots. Is it the right season? Some onions are cooler weather in my area. Majority of them I've noticed is. Some are warmer weather. So shallots, autumn, winter, and early spring. So we will do that. There's 60 seeds. 60 seeds I think will be perfect for one of those containers. We are planting shallots. These white pickling onions, I'm so annoyed with myself. Nick gifted me this. Oh my gosh, my nails, that's just so full of dirt. Nick gifted me this for Christmas, I believe. And that has, I think there's about 60 seeds in here too, or 50 or 60 seeds. And I'm just like, if I'm gonna do it, I would wanna do like a mass production. So I ordered 2 more packets. I think I threw that order in the bin. It was 2 packets of these. I know we had daikon radish. I know I had bull's blood beetroot. I was so excited for those. And I had another seed packet. I cannot remember. It was 5 in total. I've looked everywhere and I can't find them. I know I showed them in a video, So I reckon I must have just left them down here, and I thought I would organise them, and maybe I thought it was the empty envelope and I chucked them out. That's what I think happened, but that's okay. This says anyway, so in autumn and winter. I'm probably going to wait for winter, because if I'm going to do these, I would prefer to do more. So this is going to be a winter project. This packet is open. Nick has a chaos onion section in one of the raised beds. There's autumn and winter. And yeah, so this one has 60 seeds. We have, I would say about 40. So that can go in. So that's 2 varieties now. Onion red burgundy, autumn and winter. But I do have this packet which is open. That packet's not, which is the onion mini purplet. Autumn and winter. So it's open, it's going in. Hunter River brown onions, your traditional onion. This one is open, plus I got a closed pack. This is the main one we want. So I will do, does this one state how many seeds are in a packet? I'd much rather when they say how many seeds are in. We'll do the rest of this open packet. We'll do some of these. Another reddish onion, Rosa Lunga di Fiorenzi, elongated pink bulb onion. This one's a spring to early summer. Okay, so we're not doing that one. That's the last here. So that's the only one that's a warmer weather. So the only thing I have now is onion red burgundy. Do we do this or do we keep this for next year? We have 4 varieties. Let's do this now. Make it 5 varieties. I'll get a couple more pots because I know this has the most seeds, so all of these will probably go in a couple of pots. There we go. And then we're left with 1 seed packet. That's a spring and summer. So yeah, we'll do our Hunter River brown, our mini purplet, our onion red burgundy. I'm excited for these ones actually. The onion early white Spanish and shallot Figaro Enchilino, whatever that says. I don't know what that says, but this type of shallot. We do have this, sorry, to put back in the packet. That is our pickling onion. So we got a winter project onion, we got a warmer weather onion, and yeah, we'll do these onions now. So let's go outside and get these planted in these pots.
So now doing these containers for the onion starts. My intentions is I'm not leaving these outside, they're going to come inside, and then once I plant them I was going to use different labels to label them in the ground. So it doesn't matter that I'm using a Sharpie because the sun will fade Sharpies, but because I'm only going to be using these labels temporarily, Sharpie is fine for, like I said, what my intentions were at least. Now this was at the start of May, I believe. The day I'm now getting around to editing this and uploading this is now the 2nd of June, so pretty much a whole month in advance. And I will be honest, these never made it inside. These, I just kept them outside. It was one of those things, I'll bring them in later, I'll bring them in tomorrow, and they germinated. All of these except for one variety germinated, and a lot have germinated, and I'm happy with how they are going outside, so they're staying outside. But that was just obviously jumping into the future. Right now I am filling these up with the very wet soil that we have here, or the compost, and some bigger chunky bits of like barky items just like that. You would have seen me throw something out, and it happened a couple of times, throwing it out. So if they're chunky, it's going, and I just, yeah, try to keep the more moister things. Now I'm looking for the right label to go with the right seeds. Definitely do not want to get it all confused now at this point. And I'm sprinkling the seeds into these pots. So with onions, they are very, very, very easy to pull apart with the roots. The root systems are very straight, so they don't really tangle and wrap around pots, and they wouldn't be in these pots for that long anyway. It's just purely to get them as the onions start, so then we can plant them out into the garden. But because our roots do grow straight, this is a very common way to plant onion seeds, to start the onions. Ideally, again, if I had more in-ground space, I would love to do soil blocking for onions. Here I am, I successfully got my first pot and I was happy. But I would ideally prefer to do soil blocks with onions if I had more room, because then I feel like that would be so much more easier. I won't be teasing through and picking apart the onion starts when it does come to transplanting. It will just be the individual block, and I can pick up the block and put it straight in. And then the spacing as well, I just feel like it's going to be a smoother, easier process. But again, we have a small amount of space. I am definitely wanting to upgrade my light setup that I do have indoors for future seasons. So this is how I'm doing it this year. I did do something similar like this last year for my onion starts, but I had it in the tray. So the tray that you see on the left bottom corner of the screen, that's what I used. I used one whole of them for my onion. So here as well, like I lost one of the onion packets. But this year we're doing these blocks, or these containers.
Well, that was lucky. Thankfully it was closed. Our shallot seeds went for a window all down the side of my house, right up against the fence. Oh, that's lucky. I did hear something drop before, but then I didn't see anything, so I thought I just heard things, but no, shallots, but we found it. So let's plant it.
Okay, so I'm very glad I managed to find that packet, because yes, I really wanted shallots. Shallots is obviously a shallot, not an onion, but it is from the onion family. I just wanted to say that in case someone's like, shallot's not an onion, because, well, I use them personally. I cook with them in the same way of an onion. They all got onion flavors, and yeah. Anyway, so I am super excited for these. Oh, and that's right, this is the brown Hunter River onions. So the packet that was open was white, and I thought I'd show because all the other onion seeds were dark. And then this new packet, same brand and everything, they're all dark. So I didn't understand that, why some were white and some are dark. I don't know, I just thought that was interesting, so I thought I'll show you guys why. I don't know, I don't have the answer for that. If you do know for some reason, definitely let me know in the comments below. So I don't know, I just think it was kind of interesting. It doesn't matter anyway. And then I just top these up as well with just dry soil, and I'm using one of these trays to put them in to carry them around. But you can see definitely they are flimsy. They probably won't last. I mean, hopefully I can use them like this season and next season, like pretty much a whole like year, like calendar year worth. That's the goal, but we'll see. I am yet to update all my seed starting equipment. And now we're trying soil blocking. So I was so excited for this moment, and I'm wiggling it in. And like I said, even while I was thinking, I'm like, how exactly do I even do this? Do I press it? How much pressure do I push down? I don't know what I was thinking, but everything, like I just had a mental blank. Like everything that I knew, or what I thought I knew should have done, it just wasn't coming to me. I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't do it right. So I tried again, and you'll soon see that I also didn't do it right. And I think my soil is too wet. It still could be the soil blocker. My intentions again was to get out here and do it in the next couple of days. It's been a month and I haven't tried again. So you can see it's making the indentations, but it is not getting, it's not sticking in that soil blocker. It's like that soil blocker is like coated in oil. It's just slipping right out. It's not, it doesn't feel oily, but that's kind of how it's happening. And I'm like, if I squeeze that water out, it makes a good block, I think. But it's not getting capped in the blocker, if that's making any sense. So I'm still putting it down that it was way too wet, and we will try this together in a different day.
So I reckon it's either plastic, because it's plastic, or it's too wet, because that's just not, it's not going to hold, and this is just way too wet. So I do have some carrot seeds I want to plant direct. I guess we'll do that. So I guess this will just stay out here. It'll dry up. We can re-moisten it, not as wet. I'll pack up my trays because I don't want them getting damaged or blown in the wind. At least we got something to go under our grow lights. I will hose this off as well. We do not want this drying on the blocker, so I'll get that hosed off. But at least we do have something to get put in, which that's just so fun. I'm not going to water the tops. That is that wet, this moisture. You can kind of see already the top layer is kind of getting soaked by the moisture already. So I'm not going to water these in. They definitely do not need any more water. So yeah, we got 3 containers of our Hunter River Brown, our shallots. Oh, my bloody hands got it all messy. The mini purplet, the early white Spanish, I'm so keen for that, and the red burgundy. So at least we've got something to put underneath our lights. But see our flowers, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Oh, the herb, oh no, because that's seed blocks. So herbs and flowers, they're just gonna have to wait. Oh, these are the other vegetables too, which is bok choy and pak choy. I was only gonna do one, probably bok choy, to be honest. Let's do the carrots. Before I go out to do these carrots, I'm going to tidy up in here because I don't want the wind to blow things away and make more of a mess than what I already got. So we'll pack up here and then we'll go do the carrots.
So overall, did today go as planned? No. Am I happy? Yes. I love just being out in the fresh air and the sunshine and just playing around in the dirt and getting all muddy and dirty. I absolutely love it. We did accomplish some things. We got our onions, and like I said, they have all, except for one container, they've all successfully germinated and they're looking so good. They're not planted out yet. We will do that together, but that will be, yeah, not quite yet. And I just done a quick cleanup with the hose. We did freshly sweep the whole area the night or the day before, so majority of the mess was the mess I made, and I just kind of squirted the hose into the garden bed that's behind there, and that is all fine and all okay. And also with that compost, because I didn't get around to using it, I put some around the pineapple plant that I have in that garden bed, in that frame where the pond area is, and then the rest I put on our apricot cherries. So that compost did not get to waste. It definitely got put to good use. I just waited a couple of days, realized, you know what, I don't have time. Like, I didn't have a few hours. It was either the time or the weather. But either way, I just didn't have the time to do it. So I wanted to make sure to still use that compost. And I just hosed off these gloves, hung them out. They were dripping and wet and muddy.
All right, firstly, Firstly, so like happy with these containers. They got wet, there's mud on them, there's mud on all of them, but the seeds are nice and safe. Let's go through these carrots before we go out and plant them and figure out what we're gonna plant. This is my only open packet of carrot seeds, so I wanna get these used. Just have a peek to see how much. Oh, that's a lot. Maybe we'll just do all of these. Yeah, there is a lot of carrot seeds in here. I'll just do all of these, I think. So this is the Chantenne carrots. I've sown them before, but nothing germinated. I've tried these, I think, twice now. Nothing has germinated. I will try again. Where I did try them both times, it was on a slant, so I think it was, and because they're such fine seeds, I reckon when I water, it all gets pushed down to the edge, like to the bottom, and you know. This spot I'm now going to plant them is one in a different location, 2 has fresh new soil, and it's not on a slant. So we'll try this again. I'm going to use the rest of this packet, which is quite a lot. And if nothing, when does this germinate? 10 to 21 days. Blimey, I'm impatient for that. Well, I guess a month from now, I will give it extra. I always do give it extra than what it says. So the end of May, we're on the last day of April, so the last day of May next month, if no carrots or little carrots have germinated in this space, we will go and plant these ones. But if you are curious, the other ones I do have is Carrot Atomic Red, Carrot Luna White, And a carrot I've planted before and we've had a fantastic harvest. I've actually done this a few times, is carrot all season. Just a standard beautiful carrot, but I wanted more, something a bit more exciting and with a more funner name, but these just haven't seen me. But like I said, I think it's more so because of the slant it's been on rather than this carrot. So let's just go out and get these carrots done.
Well, I can now give you the 1 month update since I am a 1 month behind of editing this video. But first, here is the garlic. Oh my goodness, how exciting. It is kind of hard to tell, but all this garlic is germinating. So if you went with us when we planted the garlic out together, I'll leave that video down below if you want to see. I have 2 different varieties. One variety germinated super quick, but also they were kind of pre-sprouted, whereas the other side, which is this side, there's nothing there. Nothing's germinated as of yet, but the future, I can tell you they have germinated. Not as successful. I do need to do a garlic update, I suppose, but this is the section of dirt here that I wanted to grow the carrots, because we got the side of the shed and I didn't want anything more so in the summertime. I just feel like next to the middle it might, I don't know, like say tomato or capsicum, if it's too close, the heat radiating against it. So I was thinking maybe onions. My intentions was garlic this whole way, but I managed to get the garlic in a smaller space and I had this leftover space. So I thought, you know what, let's put in some carrots. Now, I ended up grabbing 2 more types of carrots. I got the Luna White and the Atomic Red because I had done that, I think it was like 300 or 500 carrot seeds of the orange, and I didn't spread them out very good. They all just kind of went into one section, and then I was like, wait, that was all the seeds? Whoopsie. So this time I was more meaningful of how I was spreading them out and going away on different angles, which you will soon see. But needless to say, it has now been a month. Not a single carrot has germinated. So I don't know why I'm having bad luck with carrots. That's even one thing I wouldn't mind doing soil blocking is carrots. I don't think I've ever heard or seen anyone do that, but I will be so fine to just sit down in my living room and just one night using a toothpick, dabbing it into water, picking up a single carrot seed, putting it in a soil block, putting them under my lights. Like, I'll probably make the soil blocks in the daytime outside so it's less mess, but then having them on the tray and just, yeah, it'd be very, very tedious. But then get them germinated. That is my issue, is the germination. Get them germinated under my lights. And I know they don't transplant well, so that's why I thought if they're in a soil block, I can then, once they're germinated, pop them in the ground and see how they go. I don't know, should we test that? Like I said, I've never heard or seen anyone do that before. That's just my idea because I don't know why else carrots aren't germinating. They did last year. Well, last winter. But come springtime till now, I'm having trouble with carrots getting germinated, just direct sowing. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Alright, I'm tired. That is all for today's video. We will come and hopefully start the flowers and the herbs and just a couple little veggies with the soil block in the next few days. Hopefully our carrots grow, hopefully our onions grow. I'm going to put the onions, I'll be honest, I'm too tired to organise my lights right now, so they're just outside. I'm sure they're going to be fine, but tomorrow that is 100% a chore for me to get done because I do not want all of them to end up being wasted, but they will be fine. So yeah, thank you so much for being with me and planting with me, and I will see you guys, and harvesting with me. We done an amazing harvest. Yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.